What's up, guys? Welcome to the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller. Cuckoo! The new face of video games, blessing Adeoye Jr.
What's up, Tim? I like everybody's shirts today. I'm just noticing that you guys all have like good shirts. Yeah, I like the Achieve. I think that says Achieve on Tim.
Does.
The Dragon of Dojima shirt that Imran's wearing. And then Greg's got a shirt that I also got that says drink water and don't be racist, which I'm a very big fan of.
AOC. The simple things. It's the simple
thing. Good advice.
And of course, we have the former informer, Imran Khan.
I'm drinking water. We're going to have to see about the rest of it as the show goes on.
Oh my God. Oh no. Is this the turning point?
We've been waiting. We've been waiting for Imran to finally do it.
It's going to be you.
What is Imran's fallible trait? It's what we just all learned.
Oh man, this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast each and every week right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. We get together to talk about video games and all the things that we love about them. You can watch the show live as we record it with the exclusive post show ad free by going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. If you want it later, that's cool. You can get it free on YouTube or roosterteeth.com. You can also get it as a podcast. Just search for Kind of Funny Gamescast on your favorite podcast service, and we'll be right there for you. Boys, I want to get into it. Last year, we started the year off right doing a Metacritic predictions topic where we went through every video game and we decided what we thought each game was going to be scored. Well, now we've been scored on how well we did on all of that.
So I swear to fucking God if Blessing wins this again.
I want to go back and look at some stats. Looking at some stats there. We'll talk about that. And then we're going to do our Metacritic predictions for 2021. But we're doing it different this year because Greg Miller really liked the way that they did the fantasy draft on PS I Love You. And they're like, guess what? It's even more fun with more people. So we're going to do it here on the Gamescast for all video games, not just PlayStation stuff. And that's going to be great. But before we get there, all four of us were on these prediction topics. All right. Now, our boy C_Anon over on Reddit always loves to put together stats. Always loves to get all the kind of funny things together of like how many appearances we've been on this, all this. I don't know how many spreadsheets this dude must have, but I'm sure they're plentiful to say the least. All right. But he did a lot of work here, and there was a Reddit post he did of Gamescast predictions of 2020. Who won? The answer is all of us in some way.
Whoa.
And let me explain how. He judged it based on all of the different predictions things we did, and we all won in different ways. Imran won the Metacritic predictions.
Nice.
Blessing
won
Next Gen predictions. I won the Game Awards predictions, but at the end of the day, Greg Miller won overall.
So there you go. There is an overall winner there, and it's me.
Points. Yeah,
it's me, baby. It's me.
Going through some fun stats here with it, or notes at least, for the Metacritic predictions. He says, I merged Imran and Fran into one being since each predictions episode had one of them. The biggest gap was when he scored for Predator Hunting Grounds. The closest guess was still 13 away. But the constant scores for Cyberpunk have since eclipsed that. There was some debate over the method of scoring, but by PS I Love You rules, Fran had 12, Greg had 11, Tim had 8, and Blessing had only 4.
Damn. Your powers were just beginning to germinate, Bless. It was before you'd run away with every other competition we did last year.
No, they needed some time to marinate. Now they're
Blessing won Next Gen predictions. Nick and Barrett also got on the scoreboard here.
Fucking Nick.
Barrett with a legitimate prediction about Ratchet and Clank being launch window, while Nick accidentally joined the call and agreed that the PS5 would outsell the Xbox Series X at launch.
It's accurate. That sounds right. This is about right for Nick.
Useless. Tim won the Game Awards predictions. The winning point was from Tim guessing Tilu 2 would win Best Action Adventure when everyone else went for Ghost, which brought the score to 20, me, Greg 19, Blessing 17, Imran 15. But Greg won overall. Either Greg was most consistent or the Busan has given him reality bending powers. By adding all the scores together, according to Cianon's calculations, Greg ended with 36.83. I ended with 34.49. Imran with 33.16. And Blessing with 29.52.
Wow.
I want to give the credit to Blessing, though, for predicting GTA 5. Because I don't think we have
at this point, when I said it,
everybody looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
Like when the PS6 comes out, we can be like, oh yeah, GTA 5 is going to be there. We could there's a reasonable chance he'll be right.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what
I'd
I'm
like
hearing
to
now is
thank-
that Greg is the Final Fantasy VII remake of the bunch.
Exactly. That's how
I have the most points and I've won the trophy. All right. I'd like to thank
great.
Cianon for out there for sending this to me. I'd like to, really rub it in Blessing's face that he lost. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. That there was a point value and there was an overall winner, and it was me, Greg Miller.
This is all from like January 2020, right? I don't remember anything I said aside from the GTA prediction that I'm very proud about.
I mean, that's how I live my life every day in a podcast. I throw it out. I just say it, and it's in a black hole, and it's gone, and somebody brings it up years later. But here I am, not running from it and holding my trophy as the 2020 Metacritic champion.
Trophy, that is not your trophy.
Is that
trophy? Is out there somewhere, because apparently we made a $1 bet. A $4 pool was left on the table all show, and then it was put into the Kind of Funny the video game box at the studio. Greg asked the post show to remind them at the end of the year.
All right. Now, post show, real show right now. I need someone out there to remind us when we're allowed to go back to the studio that there is $4 that is mine inside the Kind of Funny the video game box.
But I love that, like right now, the old studio's gone. So this box is just somewhere.
It's just somewhere
in another box. Yeah, exactly.
It's actually really funny because I think the idea of it was that like, who's going to touch this thing? Because like, we're just going to put it in a random box and it goes right behind the studio.
Yeah, it'll be there forever. It would always be there. Right? And then, not there at all. And then just as a heads up, this trophy is actually the Halloween King runner-up trophy. How do you get there? It goes. I got this in the PO box.
Oh, wow. Runner-up. Wow.
Yeah, it was meant for Blessing, I think, but it ended up with me. So I have it, and Blessing is my real game award because Blessing won a fake game award honor. And so, like, right now we each have each other's trophies.
I don't think it was a fake game award. I think if you go to the Game Award website, I'm on there.
Sure, but if I go to like the Game Awards that count where you get trophies, those are what counts. You know what I mean?
Those are what counts.
I don't see people. I don't see you with a trophy. I see you got a Final Fantasy figure back there. You got a Final Fantasy Butterfinger figure back there. Some lights from GameStop and a Donkey Kong, but I don't see no Game Awards trophy. That's your name. Again, you have mine. I'm aware you have mine.
And the GameSpot poster.
I don't think yours has your name on it. Also, like I'm pretty sure it's just empty. Does it have your name on it?
Yeah, it does.
I don't think is it.
Go get it. You have it. Where is it in your house? What is Michael Hyam doing to my game award right now?
I feel like he did something to the name. He's trying to gaslight you now to be like, no.
Roger did something in the edit in the Blessing Show edit. Roger did something to the plaque.
That's so funny. Another thing that I lost here to Greg, which I really hate, is back in July, Tim bet Greg $3 that the Game Awards would get pushed to January. So, Greg, you're just making out like a bandit here. That's $7.
See it right there?
Oh,
turn it the other way. There
Oh, yep. This there. Yeah.
I was really hoping it was just going to be like a made in China, like kind of logo.
It does say Greg Miller.
Thank you.
So funny. All right. What other fun here do we got?
I know that Game Award like the back of my hand. The amount of times I've slept with that Game Award, I know everything about it.
Well, anyways, that's it. So congratulations, Greg. You are officially the 2020 victor. But
I get $4 whenever we get to the new studio. All I have to do is risk COVID to get it.
So moving on from that, then we're moving to 2021. This is the beginning anew. This will be the first full year of predictions and stuff where Imran's with us from the beginning, and it's not some weird mix with Fran. So let's see how this goes.
I forgot that I wasn't part of the Metacritic predictions until you told me. I was like, yeah, I remember doing that. That's fine. It was like, oh yeah, Imran wasn't there. It's like, oh, was I not? But sure, I guess I will take points.
I think it was last year, right, where somebody put it up on the subreddit of like the being on the predictions episode, I think it is at the beginning of the year, is like being a red shirt in Star Trek, and it was a photo of like it was me, Tim Colin, me, Tim Andrea, me, Tim Jared, me, Tim Fran. It's like, oh god, you don't want to be on this episode, Imran, but here you are. It's
funny. All right, so Greg, you want to lead what we're about to do now?
Sure. So if you don't listen to PS I Love You XOXO each and every Tuesday, I don't know what your fucking problem is. But you also have missed something called fantasycritic.games. Blessing, when he got hired, this is one of his brilliant ideas that it turns out he just stole from Easy Allies, right, Bless?
Yeah, I did.
So the idea is that fantasycritic.games is fantasy football for video games. Obviously, instead of being a season, it's an entire year. So the idea here is, I know I've already lost Tim when I started talking about fantasy football, is that you are drafting a roster of games. You are a publisher for all intents and purposes in this game we're about to do, right? Today, we're going to do the draft. You're drafting 7 games to your roster, meaning that we go, one by one. I think it snakes back and forth, right? So, everybody goes and we pick our games. That is you building your roster. The idea is that you are building the roster of games that you think are going to review the best in 2021. And now what that means is it's not Metacritic. They go by OpenCritic, but for all intents and purposes, same thing, right? The idea is that for what you pick this game, and every point it gets higher on average than 70, you get a point for on your scoreboard. However, every point it gets below 70, you lose a point.
Oh no.
So it will give you negatives. You can easily end up in the negative if just by happenstance, let's say you want to pick one horror game, but you get confused and pick the wrong horror game. It can really fuck up your season, but don't worry about it.
That sounds impossible. It doesn't sound
totally impossible. No idiot would possibly do that. No idiot would possibly ever do that. So today we draft the 7. However, I forget, what are the total? We have 14 on the team spot.
15 total.
So you have 15 total slots, which means this now, guys. So Tim, do you understand? Imran, you understand so far?
Yes. Sounds understandable.
Okay. What's going to happen then to fill in the next 8 slots is that you have a budget of $100. And so what happens is now you bid against all of us on a week-by-week basis, or as much as you want to, for games. So let's say that we finish the thing today and tomorrow, or like some game that we don't draft today is still available. It's still a free agent out there. Or more likely, you sit on your money for a while. We get to June and they announce, guess what? Mario Sunshine 2 is coming out this year. Nintendo announces it. You then have to come back to the site. By the way, if you want to follow along at home, you can go to kindafunny.com/Gamescast League. You can watch throughout the season, see the scoreboard, see everything going. You'd go back to fantasycritic.games. You would then bid on it. If it's like PS I Love You, the Monday night is when bids get locked in. Sunday night's when bids get locked in.
Yeah, one of those nights. I can look it up.
Look it up.
As you're talking.
And so, like, you go in and say, "Cool, I want to bid. I want Super Mario Sunshine on my publishing team. So I'm putting in $5 of my $100 budget that I have." And then you hope that when it expires, no one bid more than $5. If nobody did, then you would get it for $5. $5 would be deducted from your budget for the year, and you would have Super Mario Sunshine 2 on your team. But if Imran bet $7, he would get it on his team. He would lose the money. You wouldn't lose any money. And so you're trying to maximize your publishing thing, keep money in the bank, because obviously we're going to make all these different predictions, all these different locks, and then games are going to get pushed, games are going to get delayed. You can drop those games, but then you still have to bid with bucks to get new games onto your roster.
So what happens if, say, Breath of the Wild 2 gets announced and Tim and I both bet like $100 because that's like a guaranteed, high Metacritic game. Like, if we both bet the same amount, who gets it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I assume it's who bid first. That would be my assumption. I can look into that more. But for Greg's earlier question, I think it's changed a little bit this year. Bids are processed on Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Are
all games worth the same amount of money for this first round we're doing?
For draft, they're worth $0. For draft, there's no penalty to your budget here. It's only after we finish the draft and you go into free agency that games are now worth actual money.
So for tiebreakers also, they have like an order in which they kind of tackle it. And so highest bid wins, obviously, and then if there's a tie, lowest projected points wins. And so that means whoever has the roster that is performing better, or that is performing worse in that case, will get the game.
Okay. And this is,
and so if you're behind, you'll get
have confirmed 2021 dates, not necessarily like the exact day, but they said those games are supposed to come out.
These are all announced games.
Exactly. You could, if you want to, you can put down Callisto Protocol that's coming in 2022. But for what we're doing for this league, right, is we're trying to say for 2021 who's going to win. Okay. So by the end of the year, the points we have on the board is the winner. So it doesn't behoove you to have something beyond that. Yeah. Blessing, are we doing the counterpick thing this time?
We are doing the counterpick thing, yeah. And the counterpicks are basically, after we do that initial first 7-game pickup round, we then have one more pick, and that pick is going to be the counter pick, meaning that we'll each have to pick a game that's on somebody else's list that we think is going to perform the worst, that's going to get the least points. And so if somebody picks Bayonetta 3, and we think Bayonetta 3 is going to come out and it's going to bomb, I can pick Bayonetta 3 as my counter pick, and that means the opposite amount of points that they get are the amount of points that I'm going to get. And so, based on like the 70 point thing, I know I'm kind of getting into the weeds here with the point system and all that stuff. It's easy when we get into it. But say like I counter pick a game and it's that game scores 65 on OpenCritic. That means that person who actually had the game on their roster gets -5 points because it's 5 points below 70. I, who counterpicked it, I get 5 points. That makes sense.
You're picking a game on somebody else's squad that is going to perform poorly.
Yeah,
got it.
That's what the counterpick is.
Okay.
And so like the idea is like, I know Imran, you never played fantasy football, right?
No.
So like fantasy football is, week by week, you're really involved in it. This one you can let cook for a while. What didn't kill the PS I Love You League, but really helped us, of course, is that Blessing and I talk every week on the show. So we were still going, but like Jonathan and Gio and Callie really weren't. Like they kind of like Jonathan actually did tinker with his list a lot, but Gio never touched it again. I don't think Callie ever touched it again. So the hope is that with us doing it together on Gamescast, we can, chide each other a bit more, keep everybody actually a little more engaged on it.
But should we have rules where we don't touch it, but only touch on specific days, like specific weeks or something? Or is that complicating it too much?
That's complicating it too much, I think. Like, I mean, this is going to be for, fun and bragging rights again. We can, if we are all together, we could put $4 in a video game and forget about it. But like, there's not much there's a pizza party, I guess, waiting at the end of this that we'll all benefit from. But gotcha. I don't think we need to worry about it that much.
And I think a big part of the fun too of it is like a game gets announced on a random Tuesday and I see that and I'm like, oh fuck, that might be a good game for my fantasy league, and I get it. And then the next week we're like, oh shit, Blessing got X, Y, and Z game. A thing to point out too, the cool thing about Fantasy Critic is that it allows and disallows games based on different categorizing, and so there are a number of banned types of games. And so right now, and this is the thing I can change. Everybody is if anybody has any disagreements. Right now, the banned tags are director's cuts, meaning that a Persona 5 Royal or a Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, that wouldn't count since it's a director's cut. There's also expansion packs are disallowed. Let's see here. Ports.
Anything that had early access, right? So like if it isn't you don't want any, you can't bid on a known quantity. You can't be like, obviously this game's been great before, it'll be great again this time.
Early access, I do have allowed. If a game is currently in early access and it comes out. Because I feel like that one's like a iffy enough one where it's like, okay, we don't know. Like Dreams was the example for me of like a game that came out and ended up reviewing pretty well that I wish I got on my league. But because that came out in early access the year before, that kind of made it that made it illegal for the league. But I feel like there's enough conversation around that could have been fine. Interesting. And like another game like Hades, would have been disallowed. And I feel like Hades was also like another one where it's like, all right, we're like, how do we feel about that? And so that's one that we wanted to disallow. We can, but I'll leave it up to you guys.
I'm fine if you want to leave it. I'm rattling my head right now thinking of games that are currently in early access that I would want to bid on, and I don't think there's so many that you're like.
Cyberpunk 2077
what was Back for Blood, was that technically early access when
that was just an alpha.
Beta.
That was a beta. Okay,
gotcha,
you're fine.
Which, by the way, speaking of Cyberpunk, like there is a next gen version coming next year. Is that disallowed?
That's disallowed because that is a port. And so ports was another one, like Dune 2016 coming to Switch, Death Stranding coming to PC, Cyberpunk 2077 coming to next gen. That's considered a port. That is not allowed. Also, games that were released internationally aren't allowed, and so that's another one for Persona 5 Strikers, right? Like that game's been on Japan. It's coming out this year. That is disallowed.
Cool.
Okay.
If there's any qualms with that, we can talk about it, and I can change it.
I think there's going to be some like arguing about some of it. Like Yakuza is a game that took a year to get localized, so like there are some things here and there that might. We'll have to talk about individual cases here and there. I think.
And the site does a nice thing where the site does categorize games based on that, and so we can live and breathe by the site. And so like the site, like for all these disallowed tags, like this is like a site wide thing. This isn't like house rules, and so you can like check allowed or check disallowed. A couple more remasters not allowed, and so Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Zelda HD, Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, stuff like that isn't allowed. And then lastly, yearly installments aren't allowed, and that counts for stuff like Madden, FIFA, F1, Football Manager. That doesn't count for things like Call of Duty.
Okay.
So it's gotta have like a year at the end to make it like a year.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Huh. And then I guess a couple more things too. You can drop games, and the way we had it on PS Love You was that any game that was confirmed not coming out in 2021, you were then allowed to drop that game if you want to. I've changed it this year so that one, you have one free drop of a game. Say we get later on to the year, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm not confident about how this game is going to perform." Whatever it is, you get one free drop. You also get 3 drops for games that are confirmed not coming out in 2021. And so you guess Bayonetta 3, right? And like at the end of close to the end of the year, Capcom or whoever, I forget who publishes
Platinum, Nintendo.
Platinum, yeah. Platinum says Bayonetta 3 is not coming out in 2021. You can then drop that. And you get 3 of those. Okay. After 3, you got to keep.
Can I put a preemptive thing for our listeners here? Nothing we guess is based on like inside information, so don't go writing news stories about Imran says Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year. I'm just guessing on everything.
So wait, we have 3 free drops or 4 free drops?
You have 1 free drop, 3 drops for games that are confirmed not 2021.
3 drops for games that are confirmed. Oh, so 1 free for anything I want. I just don't like how a game
for
works.
whatever.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm liking this. Seeing some strategy already.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing, there is a minimum bid amount. Last year for PS Love You, the minimum bid amount was 0, and so if I wanted to, I could bid $0 on a game and then get it if nobody else bid on it. You do have to bid at least $1 now.
Okay.
I'm
a high roller. I'm gonna bid high.
Mr. Money Imran Khan, we'll love to see it. All right, how do we start this off?
I guess I launch it. So
yeah, I was gonna say everybody go to the page. Obviously, who's here? I mean, live chat. You can go watch if you want. But yeah,
I guess we could introduce. We could introduce our publishers, because when we joined the league, it then asked us to create a publisher because technically we're video game publishers. And so my publisher is called Scarceware.
My publisher is Portillo's Platinum Publishing.
Mine is Conquest Games.
Nah, that's good.
Mine is the best one. At Tim Gettys.
Boom!
Uncreative.
Just keep it simple. You know what I mean? Like, why spread the brand out? Doesn't make sense.
All right. So again, kindoffunny.com/Gamescast League if you want to follow along. You will spoil this if you're watching later. You'll see how it all nets out.
Yeah, and I think Barrett's going to be showing it live too on the screen. And so I just click launch draft. It randomizes it, and so it looks like I'm first.
Did it randomize it because you're first? That's interesting because you're the first people in the standards, in the standings.
It might have done it based on...
Because if I'm next, then guess what? It's not random at all, and you just got to go first. Now, I won't argue, ladies and gentlemen. I might just be a small-town pizza lawyer, all right? But he did win the PS I Love You League, so I'm not going to... I will sit. I will rest. This Congress will not be stopped by me.
This is already getting spicy.
I feel like it might have done it based on who signed up in what order. And so let me see if I can reset it.
No, we're already going. Who cares? All
right, you sure? Because
yeah, Tim's last. Fuck him. I'm second.
I don't want to destroy you guys.
Tim sucks.
All right, so I'm gonna go first. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and draft Horizon Forbidden West.
Why?
What do you do to actually draft it?
Have you refreshed your page right now? It should say the draft is currently in progress. Next draft is Scarceware. Once he locks it in, and if it assumedly goes to me, it'll pop on my screen of like, which game do you want to pick? Yeah, see, I just got a notification. Okay. It's my time.
Okay.
And it explains you how to do it. Why'd you go with Horizon?
Horizon is the most sure bet for a game I think is 100% coming out this year, and a game that I think is going to perform very well in reviews. Like, I think that is a 9 out of 10 game. Probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, because anything can happen in Cyberpunk. But that is a 9 out of 10 game if I've ever seen one, in terms of like what I anticipate.
But you haven't seen it. That's the thing.
Exactly.
But like, based off of Horizon Zero Dawn, how people received that game, if Horizon Forbidden West comes out and it is Horizon Zero Dawn and possibly better than that, then I think it's a surefire bet.
Okay.
Who knows if that's how it's going to pan out, but
I can't wait for Horizon Forbidden West. I hope Guerrilla knocks it out of the park. But the little bit we've seen, whether that is just like, all right, put together some kind of teaser trailer, whatever, looks so much like Horizon Zero Dawn that I really wonder if that's going to disappoint people. If it is just more of I'm sure they're going to push it. I'm sure something's going to happen. I'm sure yada, yada, yada. But also, is it going to come out this year? I don't know.
I think that's the bigger question of if it actually comes out this year. I think it will, but I do think it's a surefire 8.5.
Yeah,
which is still good if I'm understanding how this game works.
Yeah,
it's going to be like critically well lauded, but so my thing is Horizon 1's story was so good. It was so interesting and so compelling that now that I know what the background of that world is, which is like the world is actually that what I wanted to find out about, I don't know how much more interested I'm going to be in Horizon 2. Like, I'm going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it, undoubtedly. But, like, maybe that drops it from, like, a 9.5 to, like, a 9 or an 8.5 for me.
But I just can't imagine it getting less than 8.5.
Yeah, no, I think 8.5 is a lock for sure.
Yeah, I think minimum. Sony has what Nintendo has in terms of that first party magic, where like people talk about how like, oh yeah, people grade on a Nintendo curve. A new Zelda comes out, people are automatically going to rate it higher and love it. I think Sony first party has the exact same thing where, and obviously like it's a case by case, right? Like not every single studio is proven. Days Gone comes out and doesn't review as well as like a Horizon or a Ghost or Last of Us. But for the ones that hit, like those games tend to hit well critically.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I want to point out, because this is like one of those extra rules, but it is going to be important to how you guys guess your games. Greg mentioned, right, that like 70 is like that baseline, right? A 70 is a 0. Any score above 70 is a point. Any score below 70 is a negative point. Once you hit 90, any score above 90 becomes an extra 2 points. And so if a game gets a 91 on OpenCritic, that is then 22 points. Because it's the 20 up to 90 and then 2 points based off the one above 90.
I didn't know that. Did we do that last year too?
Yeah, that was last year too. I mean, not many games scored above 90.
Last of Us did, and then I fucked it up, and no big deal.
Yeah.
So let me ask this. Horizon Forbidden West, a PS4, PS5 game. Which one are we looking at the Metacritic for? Is it just whichever's higher?
I assume
this is
OpenCritic.
Like yeah. I don't know how they do it on OpenCritic.
I assume it's an overall average.
Okay.
I mean, it's in fantasycritic.games' hands. Whatever they put in, that's what we believe. That's where we go for.
Oh man, I'm already stressed about this. I hate that I'm last.
Blessing Horizon Forbidden West is a great pick, of course. Guerrilla, they're going to come out. They're probably going to impress, but there's just so many unknowns. Is it going to advance that much further? If it's just more Horizon, does that score at the 89 it has on Metacritic right now? Can it keep that kind of trajectory? Are people burned out on Horizon? Is it actually coming out this year? Seeing how little we've seen of it, everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, with my first pick for Portillo's Platinum Publishing, am taking the guaranteed plus 90 Ratchet and Clank, a Rift Apart.
I honestly thought you were going to say God of War as a bit. I was expecting it.
I mean,
how's that a bit?
Different conversation, and let's see who, if anyone, takes that, because that is a great question of, is God of War gonna? We'll get there in a second. I think Ratchet and Clank people are starving for it. I think you've seen everything we've seen from it looks awesome for it. I think Insomniac is on fire right now. I think they're gonna fucking crush this, and it's gonna be huge.
And it's gonna be a PS5 exclusive, right?
Yeah. So razzle dazzle.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, you make good points.
Those rays to be traced. I'm excited for it. That would have been my first pick because I do think that it's a slam dunk of, again, at least 8.5, but I actually think this has a chance of being 9+.
Imran Khan, Conquest is up on the clock.
Based on the fact that Kind of Funny's been kind of taken by like the Souls virus these days. Like everyone's playing some kind of Souls game or like some Souls adjacent game. I think when Elden Ring comes out this year, theoretically, then I believe that game is going to do at least like an 88 to 90. I think that is going to be where it lives. Currently, Bloodborne is at a 91 on OpenCritic. I think that's kind of underrated for that game, but I do think like Elden Ring is probably going to be somewhere in that area.
Are you going to go Elden Ring? Do you think it's going to come out this year?
Yeah, that's the bigger question. Is that coming out this year?
I think it will come out this year.
Okay.
Also, no one write news stories about this.
What's the like typical before these games comes out for Souls game? Like, what's the typical kind of PR marketing for it? Because like we haven't gotten anything, and like when do they usually start ramping up marketing for a game before it comes out for like Bloodborne and shit?
There's no like consistent pattern. Dark Souls 2 took a long time. Bloodborne 2, Sony seemed like really weirdly afraid of it, so they kind of like didn't talk about it for a really while or a decent while, or didn't really market that much.
Yeah, it was like
Sekiro
tucked
with
away. I remember going to a Gamescom thing local for games, and it was there, and it was our first time playing it, but they weren't making a big deal. It was one station.
Yeah. Sekiro was like, it had like a very short lead time. Like, it's hard to say, but I feel like we will have that game with an OpenCritic score before the end of the year.
Cool.
I'm doing it, guys. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Damn it!
2.
I didn't know if I should get there before you or not, but
God damn it!
Have to do it.
But is it coming out this year?
It's worth the gamble for me because this is a guaranteed 9+. So if I get it, I'm getting those 22 points or whatever. You know, I want those multipliers.
Now you say guaranteed. Is there any possibility?
Not a chance.
This game does not live up to.
Oh, not a chance. Don't even start, Barrett.
Guys, why are you saying not a chance when we literally just went through Cyberpunk 2077?
Because this is Zelda. Everyone will convince themselves it's great. What was the shitty one with the Wii? Skyward Sword, right? Everybody was like, "Oh, this is so good, 10 out of 10 IGN." You're fucking.
That's actually very good point. One of the worst Zelda games got a 10 out of 10.
You're drunk off your ass.
But yeah, that's my point. It's like there's no chance that Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't critically perform well. Will it live up to the hype, and will it be as good as Breath of the Wild 1? Probably not. But I hope so. But either way, that's not what this fantasy draft's about. It's about making money moves, man.
Making money moves. Now, Timothy.
Yes.
I don't want to freak you out. I know you don't fantasy draft often. And by often, I mean never. Yeah. This is a snake draft, meaning that you went, but now you go again and it works its way backwards. So you are back on the clock. You get a double pick right now.
No one deserves this much power. Real quick, before we move on from Breath of the Wild, what do you guys think the over-under is on it come 2021? Because I'm fairly confident that it's 2021.
Yeah.
So I'm like 75% there. I think the big factor is COVID and how that impacts development. That's the reason why it would have been my number one pick if I didn't have the assumption that COVID is affecting how Nintendo's putting out games and their rollout plan.
I think it's like Blessing said, COVID is the main factor, but I think I bet you their plans are that game launches this year because there's the 35th anniversary of Zelda. Like that, hell or high water, you get that game out this year.
Yeah,
especially if there's rumors of Switch Pro, right? I feel like you launched the first Switch with it. Why not launch the Pro with it?
I imagine, I wouldn't be surprised if internally they were trying to hit spring. But and then they had to maybe push it until later into the year. I do kind of like what Imran said. It's like with Elden Ring. I do think by the end of the year we do have Breath of the Wild 2.
I also think that's like a Switch Pro game, and I think the question is when do we expect the Switch Pro? Because my earlier assumption would have been spring. I don't think spring anymore. And do we get it in the fall? Who knows? I can see the Switch Pro coming out next spring. Next spring is in spring 2022.
For my next one, you was fucking say go see this coming. I'm going with the ballsy picks of double or nothing shit. Will it come out? I don't know, but if it does, I'm getting some motherfucking points for Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Oh, that was gonna be on my list somewhere. Yeah,
that's interesting. An interesting pick.
That game is great. Hollow Knight 1 was great. Hollow Knight 2, I expect to also be really amazing.
But yeah, I expect it to be good. The excitement is there for it, for the quality. That's going to be a quality title. It's just, will it come out? I think yes. I think it's been kind of soft delayed enough of people being like, where is this thing? That I'm like, 2021, it's time. So now we're back to you, Imran.
Yeah, the draft eligibility had hype factors. So my current thing, the one I've chosen, has a hype factor of 67.2. I think a lot of people like Nier Automata. A lot more people than I thought would have liked Nier Automata and ended up liking that game. I think people are going to see Nier Replicant, which is, by all appearances, a gameplay remake of the original Nier, and see the virtues that game had in the first place. It had better music, it had a better story. I think they're going to go oh, we fucked up last time. We should give this game more of its due, and give it a higher score than usual. I don't know that it'll breach 90, but I bet it'll do pretty damn well.
Do you think the fact that it's being developed by, I forget the name of the developer, but it's not being developed by Platinum, it's being developed by like some third party house, I think. Does that affect your hype levels?
I thought Platinum did the fighting system.
They might have. I might be misspeaking, but like it looks like it's being developed by, I gotta look it up. it's not coming up.
Do you think that it having a stupid name is going to affect it at all?
No, because if that were the case, then none of this series would go through. Like, no, there's a chance Toy Logic could mess it up, yeah, but I think by and large, it's still going to be. That game had I'm sure Hayam has talked to you about it because I saw him streaming the game recently. But that game is actually way better than anyone ever gave it credit for. And like what kept it back was like it was this weird era where like everything Japanese is kind of looked at as super strange and off-putting. But now that like things have kind of swung back around in a different direction, I think people are going to go like, okay, actually, yeah. Now that I'm willing to commit to this game, I'm seeing what those people those weirdos who were in a weird Nier cult years ago now seem really seeing it.
So
do you think the fact, not the fact, but like, do you think the possibility of it being a Final Fantasy VII remake, like let's get fucking weird with this thing that people already like, if they go that direction, do you think that affects how it reviews?
I think Yoko Taro knows how to chart the difference pretty well because like Nier Automata was a different game depending on if you played Nier or not. Like, because if you played Nier, you were just sitting there the entire time going like, all right, yeah, none of this makes sense. What's going to happen? What's the other shoe that's going to drop? So I think there will be enough in that remake to be like, okay, this is clearly for the people who've played Nier, but I'm still enjoying, like, this is my first experience anyway.
Do you think I should play Automata before this one? Because I've been kind of holding off.
They're unrelated except for like one scene in Automata in which it's like super related. So go ahead and just play this. I'd say wait, then play Automata.
Okay.
Because technically this is before Automata, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Greg Miller, I see those eyes.
Well, this is the part of the draft that's exciting and terrifying and everything at once, right? Where you are frantically looking at previews, seeing what people have said. Do you have the right information on what's going on? Because there are so many good games on the board right now, but you never want to blow your early picks on something that clearly you could pick up in another 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, and then Imran jumps on something I want. And there's so many things that are out here speaking to me. And again, like you were, it's funny you bring up the hype level and all that jazz. Like I always try to ignore it, right? Because it's about what do you think is going to review the best? Mm-hmm. Where are we going to go with it? Hold on, I want to do this, and I just want to put preview on the end of it because I just need to know what do people think of this. But the problem is nobody calls their previews anymore, right? Here we go. Let's say Polygon. What did you think of this?
What is he talking about? What do you guys think he's talking about?
Because you don't want to say the name in case he doesn't actually want to do it right now.
Yeah, exactly. I can pick it up either. I had in my head too that I forgot. I was thinking of last time we did this where I was at the end, so I was going to snake back and have 2 back to back and feel a little more confident in doing stuff out here.
It's whatever it is. It's something that Greg thinks I might pick,
and it's something
because like I'm the only one ahead of him.
Close, if places are previewing it and shit.
Right? I'm gonna bet he's talking about Returnal.
I've been bagging on Returnal. Like,
I think he might be talking. I think he might be talking about Persona 5 Strikers.
I thought that was not available though, right?
It's not available now.
Yeah, don't try. I would gladly snatch that up if that was my possibility here. I'm just trying to find out what the verdict is.
What other games?
But I'm going to do it. I'm just going to toss it out there. All right, hold on. Let's scroll up here with my second game. Here it is. Here, second draft choice. Shit, fuck. And then I see all these other games on there that I really want.
I'm waiting for this like build up to be like Patapon 3 or something. I can think what Greg cares about.
Oh, he must be talking about Monster Hunter.
I am talking about Monster Hunter Rise. I'm not sure what the temperature is on Monster Hunter Rise off that demo, and I'm not getting a clear picture.
Imran, don't say anything.
I'm not saying anything.
Shit. Because as soon as I look at it, it's like, do I go with my heart? I got 2 games right here that I also think are going to score really well, but I know even less about them. You know what I mean? In terms of like what the game's going to turn out to be. I could know more about Monster Hunter if I'd looked at the stupid preview ahead of time, but I haven't looked at it ahead of time. But everybody loves Monster Hunter. And if you play Monster Hunter and you review Monster Hunter, those games always fucking clean up. And it will be the whole thing where it'll be compared to World, but it won't be those people reviewing it. It'll be like when I had to review it on PSP and fucking people love that shit. I'm picking Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise with my second pick. It's drafted. Wow. It's done. Imran, is it getting previews badly?
It was going to be my next pick. Like,
okay, good.
I think the only thing that might really harm it is that like it's not the same scale as World. But I think a lot of people are going to be like, actually, I liked World, and this game is very similar and a lot faster. So maybe I can see it reviewing quite well.
Okay, good.
Bless. What is your second choice after Horizon?
I'm doing a similar thing that Greg did, and I'm looking up reviews for a previous game in the series. Fuck.
Trust your gut.
Listen. I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust it because, like, in these early rounds, I feel like I need surefire bets for games that are for sure gonna come out and probably be good. Like, as long as I can get those sure ones, then that's gonna be like a good start. I'm gonna go Resident Evil Village.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No,
like,
just on name recognition alone, that's where you're picking that one?
Name recognition is one of the most hyped games of the year. Looking on Metacritic for Resident Evil 7, that got a 86 on Metacritic. I said fuck because it got a 7.7 from IGN, but it looks like that's more on like the little bit on the lower scale.
What RE7?
RE7, yeah.
RE7 got hot. Well, what from IGN?
7.7.
That's
fucking clowns over there. You know what I mean?
Reviewed by Greg Miller.
What?
I'm not like historically a big like Resident Evil person, though. I loved RE2 remake, and I liked I liked Fine, the RE3 remake. I didn't play Resident Evil 7 because like I usually don't fall into those games, but knowing what I know about Resident Evil fans and how much people love that franchise, I feel like that's a safe one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that game's gonna review. I don't think it'll review as well as 7, because like I think the first person shock of RE has kind of worn off a little bit. But who knows? Maybe this is the one everyone's like, oh yeah, fucking witches and werewolves. That's where Resident Evil should be.
The way that people are thirsting after that tall lady too. You know, like people are ready for it.
From they keep sharing that image on Twitter. And I'm like, what is this from?
Yeah, no, people are thirsting after that tall lady, and so Resident Evil Village. Also, I think from what I understand too, and what I've seen of it, it seems like it has RE4 vibes to it, and I feel like that's going to resonate well with people.
It's like literally, it's called Village. Like that is as close to RE4 as you can get without actually straight up saying this is an RE4 remake.
Yeah, and if the thing that people take away from that game is, oh man, they went back to the roots of RE4, then that's going to be a
people are going to be happy. You're going to get some good scores there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's a safe bet.
It's snaked. It's camped on you. What's next?
Oh man, I'm really excited about this next one because this is another surefire thing for me. Like RE Village is not a game that I'm like super excited about. This is a game that I'm super excited about. Deathloop. It's my next pick. Arcane knows how to make a game. I'm typing in right now.
Proud of you.
Arcane knows how to make a game. I'm a big fan of their games. People are appreciating them more and more with each game they put out. And Deathloop looks like it's going to be a good one. And so
I'm predicting like an 89 for Deathloop.
See it around there. Like,
yeah.
What does Dishonored usually get?
Really good.
I feel like Dishonored is I feel like Dishonored gets like not mixed reviews, but mixed on the high end. You know what I mean?
Let's see.
OpenCritic is such a bad search thing. Like, I search Dishonored and it picks whatever. With
Dishonored 2 looks like it has an 86 on Metacritic and then a 9.3 from IGN.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I can see Deathloop getting like an 85, maybe higher, because I think Deathloop's, in terms of like the world and in terms of what they're doing with the story and stuff, that seems more digestible than
seems more marketable than the whale punk universe of Dishonored.
Yeah.
Even though Dishonored fucking great, and everybody should play Dishonored 2, some of the best level design of the last gen.
I'm very excited for Deathloop. Yeah, I'll get to my pick in a second. I'm very excited for Deathloop, but it is that thing of, is it going to deliver what people want from it? You know what I mean? I hope so. I love the idea of, looping through two assassins trying to kill each other all the time or whatever. But I wonder, if it'll play off, or if it'll turn off some critics, because that's what you got to be looking for. You got to be looking for a critical darling here. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I got 4 games right here in the hopper. And I think some of them would surprise you in terms of it. And it's like, do I waste the pick here and think you guys would never pick these kind of games?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I spend it here? Maybe look like a mad person. You know what I mean? I'm not picking a AAA one. You got to be bold sometimes, Tim. You know, you got to be out here and you got to say, I see something in this game. I know the world might, and they might not think it's hype factor, not that high. But I think we all know that 12 minutes.
God damn it.
12 minutes is being drafted by Portillo's Platinum Publishing because that game looks awesome. Of course, you can go watch our Let's Play from 2015 where we helped the developer actually get the game sold, it turned out, and become a bigger thing. Can't wait to see what that game's all about. And I do think that that's going to be an indie that turns heads.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's...
Damn it. I was holding that one because I was hoping nobody else would pick it.
I was literally my next one, Blessing.
God damn. I would have picked that over a Resident Evil Village.
Well, you
I was thinking you guys wouldn't have thought about it.
Imran?
Let's see. Since my 12 minutes choice was just, surreptitiously taken from me, I'm going to go with one that I think at some point Tim probably would have chosen. But it is legitimately a game that I think is going to get 85 to 92 somewhere on that list. I think... Hold on, I gotta actually press the damn button. I think Halo Infinite is going to be on that list somewhere.
You're crazy, but I like
the balls on
no,
right now.
I think they know if they don't do this right this time, then this series is dead. Like, they want this to be a platform for 10 years. Like, this game is an important part of their Game Pass strategy. I think I will have the what's the word I'm looking for? The condition that I think multiplayer and single player are going to be reviewed separately because they're going to be separate releases. Then I think that might screw things up a little bit, but I do think they know that Halo Infinite has to play well at the end of the day. And that them delaying it a year, I think makes me more confident that they're going to do a good job of making that game remind people of what Halo is about better than like if it had released in November.
Oh, guys, this is starting to get one. This is getting juicy. Because there's a lot of games that I'm like, that's a risk.
They're all risks.
Halo's a big risk, but Imran makes a great case that they know they can't fuck this up. They have to do it. And also think of where expectations are right now for that game, coming off of, the huge delay and everything falling apart and people shifting. Like, if they come out and they do wow you, I think that goes even farther into what the Open Critic score is going to be.
Get juicy on me, Tim.
Get juicy.
I guess, you know what, Barrett? For you, I'm going to go Gotham Knights.
Hey,
I don't think it's necessarily going to be a 9, but I do think that it's guaranteed points on the board.
I think it'll get you 10 to 15 points is my guess.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about that.
That sounds right.
I could see that being like 80 to 85 somewhere.
Right? Yeah. Good money. Getting on the board. Looking at my list, it's starting to get a little dire in terms of guaranteed slam dunks. You know what? Another ballsy move for me, but I want credit for this one when it happens. Hellblade 2.
Wow.
That is a ballsy move.
Yeah. Because will it be 2021? I don't know. I don't know.
I appreciate it. I want to believe.
Yeah.
I don't think that game's 2021.
I think that there is a fairly decent chance it is, because we first saw it over a year ago. And granted, it was just kind of like an in-engine thing. But that's quite a bit of time for, Hellblade, the first game, being kind of a smaller title. Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily know that Hellblade 2 is going to be much bigger or longer. I feel like it might be a kind of different type of vertical for Game Pass that is a super highly produced but 10-hour experience. And if that's the case, I think 2021 is possible.
I can see it.
And I think it's going to be great. No matter what it is.
I think that's a given. I think it's going to be reviewed wonderfully. And so if it hits, that's like a gold mine for you. But yeah, and I think you might be onto something too, because they are working. Ninja Theory is working on more projects, and so like they do have Hellblade 2, and they also have Project Mara, and like multiple other things. And with that, like you got to imagine their schedule has to be laid out as such that like, okay, cool. 2021, it's about getting out Hellblade. 2022, it's about Mara. 2023 is about this next thing. Like with that, with the amount of stuff they're working on, they got to start pushing that stuff out.
Also, Microsoft needs first-party games like Halo Infinite's fall, but what's until then? A Hellblade 2 in summer seems like it would land perfectly.
Totally. Feels like a good August game.
All right. So, Greg Miller stole 12 minutes from me. That we've established that Greg somehow went in the future and took that choice from me. But it did allow me to think to think a little bit about an indie game that not getting that much play, but I think is going to really shock people when it does come out. And I'm saying this because when SteamWorld Dig 2 came out, that game was perfect. That is a perfect video game that rated at, I say, an 88 on OpenCritic. I think The Gunk is going to be people going like, oh shit, this game is also really good. I'm granted I don't know it's going to be really good, but I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet on Image Inform's like pedigree that The Gunk is going to surprise people.
Okay.
I don't even.
Unless you get the most
I don't know what that
confused
is.
interface. It was
No,
at the
I'm googling
Microsoft
the
reveal
right
event.
now.
Yeah,
I feel like that's one you could have just bet $1 on right after this show and gotten it without wasting your pick. I think you could have just walked in. None of us are looking for The Gunk, but I respect it. I respect it.
Do it, Greg.
Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna go all out?
Do it,
I know
Greg.
someone. I'm waiting for Greg or Blessing to do the one that everyone knows one of you is going to do.
Because I'm pretty sure you're the one in the chat, Greg, and I think you just got to do it right now.
That is guaranteed money. You know what I mean? Do I want to be boring?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know what you're going to do.
May or may not happen.
No, you're not looking at the chat.
Yeah, you guys are not even in the
Kennedy, shut up.
ballpark. You guys aren't even the ballpark here of like a guaranteed like 85 to 90 here.
I hope I'm not looking at the chat. And also, I don't like the Greg's getting tips from the chat. This feels like cheating.
It's not tips. What it was Cameron Kennedy was like, "Hey, everybody, don't forget about blank," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like that's on my list.
Yeah.
Like I don't need
I
anybody.
really hope it's not the one I'm thinking of because I have one that's fucking.
I know one
fire.
of you is going to do it.
I learned from you, motherfucker. I got a bunch of shit games on here that I'm just like the Blessing model of just like, oh well, fucking this game.
Greg,
this is gonna always.
I got one that's fire.
Greg,
and I
do
hope
it
Greg
now.
doesn't pick it.
Do it now.
But there's other games I believe in too that I want to put on. You know what I
Greg,
mean?
pick those things that you believe in.
Fine, fuck it. I'll be a cheap little bastard. Can I get away? Barrett, do you think I can get away? Can I keep skating? And that can be like a 7th pick. It doesn't need to be my.
I think it could be round 5, maybe round 6.
I really hope it's not what I'm thinking.
The suspense is like.
If
I really
Greg.
I'm listening.
If you if you want to do something else now, let Blessing go. And then when it comes back to you,
chance. Yeah. Blessing, he's too stupid to figure this out. He would never.
What?
That's a great point, Barrett. I do like where your head's at.
Yeah.
But again, like, why am I out here trying to impress all these fucks watching or listening? Why don't I just take the easy points? I'm taking the points. Fuck everybody. I'm putting it in there. I'm saying Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I'm doing it. We're voting for that. We're putting that in there. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm with you. That was on my list, but I got turned off from it because I'm looking at Metacritic Lego scores. There's a lot of just 70s.
I mean, but again, this one in particular seems to be an overhaul of what Lego games are, and a lot of Lego fans are really excited for this one.
That's all true.
I mean, how many of those Lego fans are reviewing games, though?
It's fair. That's fair.
I mean, that's the thing is like looking at this, the highest scoring Lego game seems to be Lego Marvel Superheroes at an 83, and all the other ones are low 70s.
Prediction here: I think this will be easily the best reviewed Lego game.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen of it,
So yeah,
it does look really good compared to the other ones. But all right. Blessing.
Did Greg lock in his pick?
You all learned a valuable lesson now. Never talk me out of the pick before I fucking click the button.
No,
I'm moving to Back for Blood. I'm taking Back for Blood.
Back for Blood was on my
and now Blessing
list.
can choose Skywalker Saga.
Oh man, finally, thank you. No, I'm gonna pick Overwatch 2.
Yeah, that was on my list. My concern is there seems to be a rumor going around right now that it might get delayed again.
Oh really?
Yeah, like right now
they've shown it since the reveal, right?
They're saying, because like the thing
that
I was doing some legwork on it before, seeing if I wanted that, and there was a quote going around about like, we know we haven't talked about it in a while, yada yada. It's going to be at BlizzCon in February, and there was a bunch of articles already saying like why we shouldn't be upset if it gets delayed, yada yada yada. So like, it's on my list, but I didn't want to burn a pick. It's it's in that Ragnarok thing where it's like, all right, like that'd be a great thing to have if it happens, but I'm not ready to burn it all down
Ragnarok, no, I'm kidding.
Hey man, I mean, if you get one of those, you're in good looking shape.
That's actually a really good point. I gotta think now because I got Overwatch right. Okay, looking at my list, because I guess we haven't recapped our list so far, but like mine personally is Horizon Forbidden West, which I think is a surefire game coming out this year. Resident Evil Village, surefire coming out this year. Deathloop, same thing. Overwatch 2 is the first one I picked that I'm like, I think it's gonna come out this year, but I'm not sure. And I have another one. Well, actually, I guess my other one would be God of War Ragnarok. And I feel like having two of those is fairly risky since we only have 3 drops.
Gotta spend money.
3 drops left, you mean?
3 drops for
games I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah.
3 drops for games that don't have release, that end up being confirmed not coming out this year.
The question is, do you trust Cory Barlog, or are you calling him a liar?
Oh, I'm calling him a liar.
Okay. Big time liar.
Yeah.
Nobody trusts him.
We're just getting that.
I think there's a higher likelihood Overwatch 2 makes this year than God of War Ragnarok, which is why I picked it first. But if God of War Ragnarok did hit this year and I picked it, oh my god, I'd be unstoppable. I'd be a king, a god, you know.
Instead, like a loser, like you were this year with the Metacritic predictions. Remember when I won?
Yeah, but I got what? But like the PS Love You Metacritic predictions for next gen that we did late last year, I clowned you. You remember that?
I know, but I mean, it's one of those things of like, that's great on your shitty little podcast. You did it, but on the preeminent game show on Kind of Funny Gamescast here, I won. So it's
they call PS Love You the pre-Gamescast podcast. Fuck. Okay. You know what?
You're gonna do it? Big Balls blessing coming in?
I'm gonna go Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
Sure.
Before you give your other one, Bless.
No, that is my other one.
Well, before Greg gives his next, let me tell you about our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Purple Mattresses. Let me tell you all about Purple Mattresses. Joey Noel's been using one for years. She loves it. But more importantly, I've been using their pillow. And oh man, I swear by this thing. I never thought that a pillow could affect my sleeping as much as this does. But I was blown away. Been using it for a little over a year now. And I could never go back. I've always been a 2-pillow person. 1 pillow gets the job done perfectly. Thanks to Purple. The Purple Grid sets the Purple mattress apart from every other mattress. It's a patented comfort technology that instantly adapts to your body's natural shape and sleep style. With over 1,800 open air channels designed to neutralize body heat, Purple provides a cooling effect other mattresses can't replicate. And that's the coolest thing, is the pillow is also made of this grid. So you get total head and neck support with absolute airflow, so you're always on the cool side of the pillow. And it sounds unbelievable, but I'm telling you, you need to believe it. I never need to flip the pillow. It's just always the temperature that I want it to be. Fantastic stuff. Purple's proprietary technology has been innovating comfort for over 15 years. I love it in the pillow. Joey's been loving it in the mattress. Great times all around. You can even try every Purple product risk-free with free shipping and returns. And Purple has financing options as low as 0% APR for qualified customers. You can experience the Purple Grid and you'll sleep like never before. Go to purple.com/kindafunny10 and use the promo code kindafunny10. For limited time, you'll get 10% off any order of 200 or more. That's purple.com/kindafunny10, promo code kindafunny10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. Terms apply. One more time, purple.com/kindafunny10, promo code kindafunny10. Greg, what's next?
So to recap mine, and I know that obviously Barrett's doing a great job doing B-roll, but if you're an audio listener, I have Ratchet and Clank, Monster Hunter Rise, 12 minutes, Back 4 Blood. There's one right there nibbling out there on the edge of my mind. But in my career, this is a franchise that you can never fucking pin down when it's actually coming out, no matter what anyone fucking says.
What you're talking about.
So, do you roll the fucking dice
You don't.
But I mean, you gotta have big plays out here, Timmy. You know what I mean? There's gotta be some big plays.
You're right.
I really expected him to be like way less cautious. I expected him to be one like, I don't know, fucking whatever. Because he started with Breath of the Wild. I thought it would go that direction. But no, you were by far the most conservative one.
Am I?
Yes, I think you're being really conservative here.
Again, if you're a listener, Tim's list is Breath of the Wild 2, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Gotham Knights, and Senua's Saga.
I don't know if he's being super conservative. Those are 3 games on that list that are like not even guaranteed to be coming out.
I guess like year. Less on Gotham Tim's Knights list and more like what he's talking people out of. More like whenever somebody has something a little risky, Tim's like he has that little disapproving look on his face.
Well,
like,
maybe it's. I mean, I'm not trying to give shit away here, but like maybe it's because like I'm planning some major risk taking, and I'm hoping y'all motherfuckers don't choose it.
Yeah, and Blessing makes a good point of like Gotham Knights is also an easy one that could miss this year as well.
Get delayed.
That game's been in development like 7 years.
Yeah,
I mean, but
again,
with
COVID stuff,
we've made it this far.
Yeah.
Greg Miller.
My question to Greg Miller is it worth it to risk it for the biscuit? Like, are the reviews that Gran Turismo are going to be worth picking up Gran Turismo? Because I know that's what we're looking at.
The thing is, Gran Turismo, this is obviously the one I'm talking about. And sometimes, Gran Turismo, just a game out of time, right? Like whether like it's damaged was such a big deal, like fucking getting that patched in. And this is years ago, obviously. I'm out of my element with a Gran Turismo pick. You know what I mean? Because why not pick Forza? Is there even a Forza coming out this year? There's got to be a Forza.
There's a Horizon probably, but not a regular.
That's unannounced, yeah. And like Fable, and this isn't giving you guys ideas, but Fable is coming out of Playground Games, and so who knows when we're gonna get the next Playground or next Horizon.
Yeah. And then it's the thing of like, do I go for something that I think is a known quantity, I know will get me points on the board, or do I swing for something that I don't know if it'll do well, but I think looks promising, and could deliver. I'm going to follow my heart, which usually ends badly, but I'm going to go for It Takes Two from Hazelight.
Wow.
I think
that was on my list.
I think, you look at Brothers, you look at No Way Out, you look at Joseph Fares in general, and you see a studio that's incredibly talented, that's getting better with every game, or learning new things with every game. I know people like Brothers more than A Way Out, some people. I think that It Takes Two looks the most of a great story and great gameplay that they've shown so far, and I'm putting them together.
Fair. Imran.
I have a thought, but it's like this game I think would be guaranteed to get high scores if the review audience was just Joey Noel. Okay. But it's not. It's more people. So I don't know, we heard so little about it. I don't know that I can trust it's gonna do that well on OpenCritic.
It won't.
Here's the thing, Imran.
It won't.
But what are people gonna dislike about that game?
That's the thing. You don't have to dislike it to be like, all right, it doesn't have enough content. 7 out of 10. And if it's a stone 70, that does do me no good.
But I think the game that you're thinking of, at best it's a 9. At worst, it's a 7. That probably nets out at an 80 somewhere.
Whoa!
No.
If you guys are talking about what I'm thinking about, I think at best it's an 85, and at worst it's a 50.
I think I'm kind of
no way. What game are we talking about?
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Stray.
What? No, dude, Stray's gonna be dope as fuck.
You're just like Joey Noel, small animals. Okay.
As you said Joey Noel, I was like, oh, he must be talking about Stray. I didn't think you were talking about Pokemon Snap. That makes way more sense.
Come on, man. Jesus,
that's so funny.
Yeah, I don't think I'll go with that. I think it is too risky. I don't think there's any chance that it goes past 85.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 65 to 85. I think that not to talk you out of it, but I feel like it's not worth the risk there.
I think the other one I'm looking at is also at a very similar boat.
So although the thing about Pokemon Snap is I think it's a guarantee it's coming out this year.
No, they gave a date recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I actually believe them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I could definitely. I'm going to go. This also might be one that I think I shouldn't use for this round. I should probably just bet on it later because I don't think anyone else is going to beat me to it. But I'll just go ahead and call it for this round. Jet the Far Shore.
Oh.
It is not talked about much, but Super Brothers, like, the name precedes them. Swords and Sorcery was a fantastic game that is well loved. So I think Jet the Far Shore is going to be one of those that, like, very quietly everyone gives it to their, like, the reviewer who likes indie or weird games, and then it gets like 9s and 10s everywhere.
Very interesting. Very interesting pick.
All right.
All right, guys.
Let's hear it.
Let's get nasty. I'm going for it. I'm fucking going for it. It's God of War Ragnarok, baby.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
there it is.
go. Here's the thing. Surefire points if it comes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will it come out? Probably not.
I think if it comes out, it'll be a PS4, PS5 game.
It's not letting me select it.
even the site's like, no, it's not coming
this is
out.
a bad move. It's a waste of a pick.
Yeah, like an error is showing me.
Oh, yeah. You might have to refresh the page.
Refresh.
Okay. Boom. Yeah, I know how stupid that is, but I think it's fun. Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I want some reactions over this year. And I want some like, holy shit moments, some comebacks going on in our here fantasy league.
Okay.
So when it's confirmed that the game's delayed into 2022, it's going to be a real sad day for me for multiple reasons, least of which that I'm going to be losing to Greg Miller. But if it's not,
honestly, if like Tim's list is a very risky list, but if all of these games come out,
dude, if
he
just
could
got
run away with it.
If just God of War Ragnarok and Breath of the Wild 2 came out this year, one, Game of the Year is going to be off the chain. But then two, like Tim's one. Like there's no competition.
So for my next pick, I've officially run out of things that I'm like, these are the ones I want to get. So now I'm just taking some bets or getting fucking crazy.
Sure.
And now I'm gonna talk this one out with you guys. Because like I don't think any of you guys are gonna pick it. Final Fantasy 16 is supposed to come out this year. Will it come out this year? Probably not.
God damn it, Tim. I didn't think I was gonna put it on my main list. I was gonna just like put $1 on it later when nobody else thought it was gonna come out.
I'm telling you.
I think I'm with you. I think it's gonna come out this year.
It's coming out this year. It's coming out this year. I feel real good about that. The bigger question is it going to review well? Final Fantasy games don't typically review that well. Modern games, at least.
But this is the 14 team, right? Like in 14 reviewed super well.
But I'm even saying they're not that well. 85s, right?
Yeah.
So I think that this is like a good bet for me points wise, because it'll be getting me up into them 80s, maybe 90s if it's crazy.
Wait, you're talking about 14 MMO?
Yes.
Yeah.
14 Shadowbringers, the last FF14 expansion, has a 91.
Gotcha.
So it's like if we get that level, we're good. I don't think there's any way that Final Fantasy 16 gets under a 70. So I'm not going to lose points.
Yes.
Will it come out? That's the bigger question. And I actually feel kind of good about it coming out. So I'm locking it in. Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, Tim has by far the riskiest of all this list.
Boom.
I think I'm gonna throw out one that's not gonna like break the upper limits of this. It's not gonna be like a 90 on Metacritic, but I think pent up frustration over the lack of real next gen games is going to kind of artificially inflate this game a little bit. I'm gonna say Outriders from Square Enix. People Can Fly. I think that is going to be a game that is going. I will predict around like 83 to 85, so like a comfortable couple of points here.
Okay. Yeah, me and Andy both previewed Outriders, and I think that game's gonna be a blast when it comes out. Like I don't know.
That was one of my picks on that was one of my picks in the PlayStation or PS I Love You Fantasy League. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many do we end up with?
7.
We get 7 here.
Yeah, for this first round, and then that means that throughout the year we're gonna pick up 8.
Oh my God, I only have one left.
Make it a good one,
Yeah.
All right. I have a lot of names on here.
I'm surprised there's one game that nobody's said yet. That's like a big AAA game that's coming out this year.
I feel like we're gonna hash out the why didn't anyone say this yet at the end, and someone's gonna be like, "Well, I think that game's gonna suck." It's a problem.
I am cheesing a bit here. I'm using Blessing's own rules against him, and I'm choosing Pray for the Gods. A game I had seen at Judges Week a few years ago now, and thought was really cool. Kept cooking. It's like a Shadow of the Colossus, but right now with Steam Early Access has a 9 out of 10 on Steam and a 92% of Google users who liked it. And I think that it's coming in full release this year, so they say, and also coming to consoles and stuff. I'm tossing that out there for the easy points.
Yeah, I can see it. I haven't played that game, or I have played that game in the past. It looks cool. Like I could definitely see that game coming out and surprising people.
Yeah.
I thought about that game. The one thing, my one hang up is I played it at PAX, and it is very Shadow Colossus-y, and I feel like that's going to make people compare it to Shadow Colossus so much, and it's just not going to live up. But that is a good pick. My next pick, I feel like it's kind of obvious when you think about it. Call of Duty 2021.
Yep, that was on my short list.
Call of Duty is always a surefire game. They've not missed a year yet, I don't think, and it's going to review well. It's going to do Call of Duty numbers.
Yeah.
What did Black Ops do? Surely didn't do too bad. It's 4, right? That's the new game.
Black Ops. No, it's Black Ops Cold War.
Cold War. Okay. God, I can't keep track anymore. 76.
Yeah. Well, what have I done? Actually, that's fine. That's fine enough. I'll take it.
6 points. You'll take it. Put them on the board.
That means I have one more pick for this whole draft. And this is tough because I'm looking at a list right now and I'm like,
there's 2 games I'm surprised you have not taken. So I'm curious which of the 2 this will be. If it's either one of them.
If one of them is Riders Republic, is because I think I'm gonna like that game. I don't know how that game's gonna review at all. And who knows when that game comes out. What's on the watch list? What are the top?
Harry Potter got delayed, right? Like that now it's 2022?
That's 2022, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you got Call of Duty, you little fuck.
God. Imran, what's your temperature on Babylon's Fall?
I don't think it's coming out this year, but if it does, like, I don't think it. There's 2 platinums. There's the good platinum and the bad platinum. I don't know which one this is going to be, but if I had to guess, I'd bet good platinum's on Bayonetta.
Bad platinum is usually like licensed games though and stuff. Yeah, and I feel like Babylon's Fall looked cool in the reveal.
But also, like, I'd say Astral Chain is an example of like the mediocre platinum of like this game is
first
fine.
Of all, how dare you?
It's not like it's no Metal Gear Rising or Bayonetta or anything like that. It's just it's fine. But like I could see that being where Babylon's Fall falls.
I'm gonna look up one game real quick to see if there are any previews for it. Yeah, there are previews for it. What games has this developer done? I'm sorry it's taking so long.
No, take your time. This is very important. This is all very important. Don't rush into anything.
My final pick.
There's dollars at stake.
Look up a review for their last game. No, I'm not picking that.
What was the game?
It was The Medium.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Medium's way too big of a question. Yeah, the Blair Witch Project right before this. Like,
yeah, I looked up Blair Witch and they had a 69 on Metacritic.
Nice.
That's why it's such a great Medium's such a great Game Pass game. Where I'm like, I'm interested to see if that is going to be cool and come together, but like I wouldn't be like, I'm not. If it was, spend $60-$70 on it, I'd be like, no, I'm good.
You know what?
What? I don't know. Go ahead and tell me.
I've narrowed it down to 2 games, and I just got to look up something real quick. I got to look up this developer. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go Solar Ash for my last pick. It's a Annapurna published game being developed by the same dev who did Hyper Light Drifter. looks cool. It's confirmed coming out. I think in like June. I think that's June 2021, and so I feel pretty good about it. If it lets me pick, I think I got to refresh. All right, I've picked it.
There we go.
Okay.
Blessings list is locked. Greg Miller.
My final pick. Oof.
Do it, Greg.
Well, now it's the thing of like I get picked. Star Wars. I feel like I could pick up for a couple bucks after this whole thing's over. And then even though I want to waste it, think of what's still to come this year. How many other games we're still going to get this year that you could have out there on your list?
Yeah. Like, this is a weird year. I feel like we know more about the next year at this time, every previous year, than we know this year, because COVID and just new consoles and all that.
This is one of those I want to pick it just based on the niche audience and the title, but the fact that none of you nerds picked it makes me think there's something that I don't know about it. I'm going to do it, and then we'll see. I'm going to say Bravely Default 2.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it'll review well. I think
I've drafted it.
That's a safe one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that demo sucks shit.
Fuck!
So,
God damn it!
So yeah, I know Reb is very excited for that game, but she really liked Bravely Default 1. So maybe all Bravely Default nerds really like that game. But
that's my hope, is that they give it to all the Bravely Default nerds and they play it and they like it and they're like, oh, it's like classic Final Fantasy.
Like, the original demo was so bad that they had to retool the game and delay it. And the second demo, I've heard a lot of people were disappointed in it. I have not tried it yet.
Fuck.
Imran?
Okay, so I'm between two real confusing ones. Because there's one that I think Microsoft will not let this game be bad, but that's never stopped this publisher before. And the other, I think, is just a really cool looking indie game that I think I think will rate very well.
I'm surprised. Actually, I'll let you go before I give you an ideas.
Let me see if this game is on this list. Okay, yeah, I'll go with the indie game. I'm gonna pick She Dreams Elsewhere.
Damn it, I was gonna go. That was my other one I was thinking of between Solar Ash and that.
Mm-hmm. I think the demos for that game have been great. The developer seems to really know what they're doing. I think that game is going to be reviewed by just enough people who really like that kind of thing to get me a good 85 to 90.
Damn, I was really hoping that nobody would pick that so I could get it afterwards for $1.
After Tim picks his, I'll say what the other alternative was of just I don't think that. So yeah, we'll see.
All right, guys, it's my final one, the final one of the show. Let's get even more nuts. Why not? You know what I mean? I'm looking at these lists right now, and I'm feeling pretty damn good about mine. I think it's all dependent on will they happen or not in 2021. I'm looking at the remaining games, and I'm like, Lego Star Wars and Pokemon Snap. Those aren't ballsy enough. Those aren't going to give me the points that I'm looking for. Ghostwire Tokyo, not predictable enough.
I bet that game's going to be bad.
Bayonetta 3.
Yep.
It's a will they, won't they type thing. Is it going to come out this year? I think. And will it perform well? I think it will.
Bayonetta 2 got a 10 out of 10 GameSpot.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo 7. Greg brought up the issues there. Axiom Verge 2.
Will it come out this year?
Will it come out this year? But if it does, I think it's going to get really good reviews. Now, there's two that came up when I was just searching to see what was even on the list that I might not be thinking about. Last of Us Factions was on that list. And that's an interesting thing for me because I think whatever that ends up being will review well. And you got to imagine it's coming out this year. And the other one is Metroid Prime 4.
No.
You're mad, man. You're mad, man.
Tim, you already have so many games on your list that are already like maybe possibilities for this year. Metroid Prime 4 is no way coming out this year.
You're either gonna be like smoking $100 bills at the end of this, or like wearing a barrel with suspenders.
All right, I'm looking at this right now, and I've boiled it down to 2. And I'm either gonna go with Bayonetta 3 or Metroid Prime 4.
I very much encourage you to not go down that list.
One of those is more likely than the other, though.
I encourage you to expand that list a little bit.
Let him be, Imran. Let him be, Imran.
Bayonetta 3 has been marinating for a while. That game needs to come out. They put out that collection years ago, which means that game is imminent. And so I'm with you, Tim. Pick Bayonetta.
At one point,
and then Metroid had to restart fucking development.
Well, that was years ago. That's also a very good pick.
Wasn't that?
I think that game is for sure coming out 2021. Pick it, Tim.
What, Metroid?
I'm not
Metroid Prime 4. You don't say anything else, Barrett. Let Tim pick it.
No, here's my thing.
Let Tim pick.
I am picking Bayonetta 3. I'm picking Bayonetta 3. Because I can always I can always buy Metroid later. Which
I like Tim's list so much.
Hold on.
I envy Tim's list.
Shit? Reload.
Because, like, to recap right now, Tim's list is Breath of the Wild 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Gotham Knights, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, God of War Ragnarok, Final Fantasy 16, and now Bayonetta 3.
My list fucks.
Could you imagine that?
My list fucks.
If you get like half that list that released this year, I think you're pretty much guaranteed.
That's what I'm saying, dude. High roller, baby. So
if you get half that list, this year is incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Our lists are all locked. We have them as a group now to end this episode of the Kind of Funny Games cast.
Oh, we still got to do Counterpicks.
Yeah, you're not done yet, baby.
Man, that's crazy. Oh yeah, let's get into the Counterpicks.
It's snakes, so you're going. You got to pick the game you think that's on one of our lists. It's not going to do well.
Yeah, and so to make things clear, right? 70 is that 0. If a game doesn't come out in 2021, it defaults as a 70, and so that's 0 points. And so that means that whoever picked it has 0 points. Whoever counterpicked it gets 0 points. If a game scores 60, that would mean that if I had that game on my list, I get negative 10 points. Tim, if you counterpicked it, you would get plus 10 points. That makes sense.
What if you counterpick a good game? I don't think that happened in PS I Love You. I think sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, if you counterpick a good game, you get negative points, and
you do lose points for it. Okay,
you do lose points. So if that game gets an 80, you then get negative 10 points based on your counterpick. You can also there was an option that Counterpicks would lock games onto that person's list. Let me make sure to that option is off because I figured that'd be going too hard.
Yeah,
I feel like that was too hardcore. But if somebody counterpicks one of your games, you can still change that game if you have that game on your list. But those counterpicks are locked.
If everyone counterpicked one of my games, so let's say Tim counterpicks one of my games, could Greg then do that as well?
Not the same game.
Okay.
But he can counterpick another one of your games.
Okay.
I'm a little confused about this counterpoint thing, but give me 1 sec.
Cool. And yeah, to
just look at all of our lists and find the game you think is going to perform poorly. That's all.
Yeah,
that's what you're looking for.
Points.
Or if it doesn't come out, then that's an obvious one to counterpick, right?
Yeah, that's an easy way too, right? Of like, okay, cool. Then it's no plus, no minus. You're fine.
Yeah. And to clarify too, counterpick blocks are off, which means that if you counterpick somebody else's game, they can still drop that game from their list, but you will still have that counterpick.
Okay.
I'm looking at my list and I'm regretting a lot of it.
All right. I mean, whatever. I'm going to draft counterpick. God, this part's hard. Okay, hold on. 1 second, guys. Because I feel it's too ballsy and I don't want to fuck myself with the points.
Do it, you ballsy little fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Do it.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Halo Infinite.
Wow.
Tim, no faith in Halo Gettys.
I wish.
Is that because you don't think it's gonna
more
be
like Halo?
Do you think it's gonna be bad?
Well, hold on. Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Can I gain points from a counterpick?
Yes.
Yeah. If it scores below 70, you gain points.
All right, put 30 seconds on the clock for me.
1,
just mentally.
2.
Outriders. Are people liking Outriders?
I mean, me and Andy really like it.
But can you trust Andy Cortez?
Absolutely not.
Poop monsters.
The thing that I'm struggling with Mike, he's got it.
Fuck it.
20.
I'm going Halo. I'll do Halo.
Okay.
I'll do Halo.
All right.
What's your reasoning?
I don't know.
Tim can't bring himself to believe anymore.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Too late now.
Crackdown. Why is Crackdown the comparison for this?
Because Crackdown 3 ended up getting a 60. Okay, cool. Yeah, I stand by Halo Infinite.
Okay.
Damn.
I don't want that to be the case. I hope I'm wrong there.
70 is a very low bar. So I'm thinking, okay, what's not gonna screw me here? Because I think Bravely Default probably not gonna do great, but I don't think it's gonna do worse than 70. So I think my best bet is to go for something that I don't think is actually gonna come out this year.
Yeah, damn, that's a better strategy.
The thing about that strategy though is that it's risky. And so like what if you go God of War Ragnarok and it actually does come out? Then you're fucked.
Right. Yeah, that is true. I'm gonna go It Takes Two.
Ooh.
I like Joseph Ferris, but that game wasn't the last game, A Way Out, wasn't great. I could see this one just kind of like floating along the same, like just kind of skimming across the surface.
Oh no.
Wow, this list is harder to navigate than you would think. There we go. All right. It Takes Two, chosen as my counterpick.
Boom. The final two choices.
So it's me. I'm looking over everybody's lists here. Shit, fuck. It's a gamble, you know?
It is, man.
I'm just gonna throw this out here, Greggy.
Yeah, buddy.
Who's developing Call of Duty this year?
You don't.
Last year.
We really don't know because like they threw off their whole they threw off their whole 3-year cycle.
That's fair.
My thing with that is I feel like I think that it's above a 70 no matter what.
Yeah.
So I'm either looking for something that's not happening this year. But when you look at some of these games, it's like, yeah, I could risk it and pick Ragnarok, right? But if I'm wrong, I'm fucked. Right? So like it's like what might not come out this year or what might be closer to 70, right? Like when you think about like what we're actually looking at, so I don't lose too many points. And everybody's picks are pretty solid. I don't somebody tell me, I'm gonna look at it, but tell me about Solar Ash. I don't even know what Solar Ash is.
Andy's very excited about it.
The Hyper Light Drifter follow-up.
Oh yeah. It was at that PlayStation presentation.
Yes. Shit, fuck. I'm kind of this is a really tough one. This is way tougher than I feel it was on PS I Love You. I feel we had a more of a not diverse thing. I start looking at Tim's like same thing, right? Hellblade 2. We all laughed. I didn't think that's coming out this year, right? And like
I will tell you that like for Tim's, I was looking real hard at Bayonetta 3 because like I am in my gut, I just don't think that game's coming out this year. But if it did, I would be so fucking screwed.
Mm-hmm. What's the word on Outriders though? That's the one that.
They did the preview event and they liked it fine. That's the only word on it, right?
I feel like that's a safe bet, maybe.
I think People Can Fly does good work, so I think that should be above a 70 usually.
I mean, my other thing, like, I look at Jet the Far Shore, right? Of like. Yeah, Super Brothers did great stuff. When's the last time we heard about that game? Do we know?
It was revealed at the PS5 event. So
yeah, but what was revealed? Remember, like what was revealed? Like
this
this
is
is
like a bunch
them.
of like fields.
Just a CG trailer.
They're like flying across fields.
You're flying across fields. Year 2. I'm on the trailer right now from June 11th, 2020. I feel like, fuck, this is difficult. I don't like this one bit. I don't like.
I love it. I love it. The chaos.
Because this one, there's like, before with the actual picks, you could make the wrong choice, whatever. But all these games are going to do better than 70, no doubt.
Yeah.
This one is like you have something to lose if you pick wrong.
Yeah.
In that event, I feel like if you if you trust Tim to panic, I would go with one of his. Because like if he starts looking at like Final Fantasy 16 to be like, oh shit, that's not coming out this year, then you lose nothing if he drops it.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Wait, our counterpicks are locked, right?
Yeah, they're locked. If Tim drops it, you still have that counter pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Then don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, Final Fantasy 16. There's no way that's happening this year. Right?
There's a lot of ways. It definitely could happen this year.
And I don't want to help Greg. There wasn't a year in that trailer, was there?
I don't know.
No, but the producer came out and said the reason that game doesn't look that good, quote unquote, is because they want to get it out faster. They don't want to like spend so much time working on graphics.
That sounds like somebody who's struggling in the studio. Sounds like they were like, fuck, we don't know how to explain this.
Fuck it, we just want to get it out as fast as possible.
We want to get it out as fast as possible. That's why it looks bad.
I mean, if there's anyone I would trust that statement, it's the guy who made Realm Reborn and like understands, oh shit, we can't do this the way we've been doing it before.
As far as I can tell, there is no date, at least in the Awakening trailer from September 16th. It just says PS5.
It's happening, 2021, baby.
I would not be shocked if it happened, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with Tim and Imran. It's happening for sure. Greg, don't pick it.
See, now I want to even more though. Now I really want to pick it.
Greg, go with the gunk.
Go.
I feel like the gunk might be a safe bet.
I feel like gunk's too unknown. You know what I mean? I don't remember gunk well. I don't want to jump into it. I don't want to do that.
I think that game should be a solid 65.
Well, even though SteamWorld Dig is like literally one of the best games of the generation.
SteamWorld Dig 2 did review very well.
Yes.
This is their first game in a 3D development space, though.
I suppose. Maybe that's where they eat. That's where they thrive, Barrett.
Yeah, they just didn't realize it yet. They're like, fuck, we accidentally made God of War.
I did it. I said Final Fantasy 16.
Damn it.
Interesting.
I don't think that game's coming this year. Every fiber of my being, and after watching Final Fantasy from afar for so many years, including when we announced the release date and they said it wouldn't get delayed, and then it got delayed. I believe that it's not going to happen this year.
Counterpoint to that, though, is in a more modern Square. When we're looking at this, like Final Fantasy 16 was just announced, and remember, it was like the biggest gap of a Final Fantasy being announced. And once they like kind of re-showed remake for the first time in years, it came out pretty quickly after that. So
yeah, I know.
We'll see. Bless, take us home.
I am between two games, Bravely Default 2 and Back 4 Blood. We played the beta of Back 4 Blood and it was fun, but I think historically multiplayer games don't get as high as Metacritic scores as single player games. And I could see that game coming out and it being like rough around the edges in terms of how it runs and all that stuff. Like it wasn't the prettiest game when we played it, and of course, like it's in development, all that stuff. But I could see it coming out and it being like this hit among people, and then critically, people are like, "Oh, it's got bugs and it's like rough around the edges here and there, but it's like a really fun game." So it's a 7 or an 8. I can see that being the case.
It'll depend on who's reviewing it and like who has the lineage of Left 4 Dead and who is like really passionate about it and stuff at like all of these different outlets, right?
Evolve did really well on the preview circuit, and then once reviews came down, it was like, oh, this was really fun for like 2 matches, and then stopped being fun after that. So who knows if like that's the way Back 4 Blood comes down too.
The thing that makes me nervous about Bravely Default 2 is that it looks like Bravely Default 1 got an 85 on Metacritic.
This is not the same team, to be clear.
Oh, well, that changes everything. Who's doing Bravely Default 2?
Do it, Bless! Do it!
You God of War, Bless.
No, absolutely not.
Risk it.
You crazy, Tim. You crazy.
Tim's strategy is starting to crystallize now. Of like, if everything hits,
Tim's
like,
got
not
that
only is he
chaotic
gonna get,
Barrett
like,
Courtney energy on this episode. Let me tell you,
This shit's key, dude.
he'll get the Metacritic or the OpenCritic points, but also get all of our points if we're all betting against him.
I also kind of wanted to choose Pray for the Gods.
They don't even know how to spell pray right.
That was a Bethesda lawsuit.
Yeah, no, that was a lawsuit.
Well, you're gonna trust people? They're getting sued.
That's actually a very good point. It's like,
don't be a coward. Yeah,
I don't
pray for
we
the
all
gods.
know what happened
Coward.
with Gods and Monsters, even though
Come
a lot
on,
of people do like
do
that
it.
game. I'm going Back 4 Blood.
do it.
Okay.
And it's complete.
That is complete. There we go. So real quick, who do we think has the best list?
I think.
Let's read them
Yeah.
again for people who are, there. Blessing, go ahead, read yours.
Right now for Scarceware games, which if you're unaware, right, like if you didn't catch it, it's a pun off of Rareware. You see what I did there? Last year I was Rapstar Games, which was like a Rockstar pun. This year I'm Scarceware. I'm killing this shit, just so you know. My list reads like this: Horizon Forbidden West, Resident Evil Village, Deathloop, Overwatch 2, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Call of Duty 2021, and then Solar Ash. And then my counter pick is Back 4 Blood.
Portillo's Platinum Publishing.
There. Go ahead.
Is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Monster Hunter Rise, 12 minutes, Back 4 Blood, It Takes Two, Pray for the Gods, Bravely Default 2, and my counter pick is Final Fantasy 16.
For Conquest games, I have Elden Ring, Near Replicant version numbers, Halo Infinite, The Gunk, Jet, The Far Shore, Outriders, and She Dreams Elsewhere. My counter pick is It Takes Two.
And mine, at Tim Gettys, is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Gotham Knights, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, God of War Ragnarok, Final Fantasy 16, and Bayonetta 3, with a counter pick of Halo Infinite.
I will say I like Tim's list the best. I don't think he's gonna win, but I like his list the best.
Tim's list would make the best 2021.
No, Tim's list would mean the Game Awards is just like fucking amazing this year.
Yeah. Tim's list would be the Game Awards, straight up.
Could you imagine the concert at the end of the Game Awards, like the symphony that they do with Tim's list?
The game I'm most bummed I didn't get on these lists is Ratchet & Clank.
Oh yeah,
same.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments whose list do you think is going to win. We're about to do the Patreon exclusive post show. We're doing another episode of Bless Who. Very, very exciting stuff. Till next time. Love you guys.